Hello and welcome to Liz Dole Presents Lizzy in the Kitchen, where I work to overcome kitchen intimidation because for me, kitchen intimidation is real, honey. On today's episode, we are going to cook. I'm going to try and cook gumbo. And then as a side, I'm also going to try my hand at the papier potatoes. I found these recipes out of the magazine called Louisiana Cooking, so hopefully I can do it a little justice. So let's give it a try. The first recipe we're going to work on is going to be the papier potatoes. So the first step I'm going to do is preheat my oven, which I've already done. I've preheated it to 400. It says 375, but time's always of the essence. So next step it says is to peel the potatoes, cut them into 1.5 inches cubes, and then place them in a large bowl, and then put a little water to ensure they don't brown. So I'm going to get started on my cutting of my potatoes. So joining me today in the kitchen is my sous chef, my puppy dog, Henry here. So if by chance you see him, he's being a good boy, so he's welcome. Okay, so let's get these potatoes cut. I've already rinsed them off. Now I'm going to peel them and then cut them into the 1.5-inch cubes. But first, I need a knife. I'm not going for perfection on this, okay? So that's good enough for me. This knife is like low-key hurting my hand. I think it's just because it's a little small, but I don't know if I have another knife that I want to use. This feels like really big. Feels like it's gonna be too big. Let's see how this works. Oh god, I already feel like I'm in danger. Let's stick with the smaller knife. Item. So now it says drain potatoes. I don't think I need to do that because I think I'm good. Place in a stock pot, add stock, lightly seasoned with salt, black pepper, granulated garlic. Bring potatoes to a rolling boil in medium heat, reduce heat, and simmer for 10 minutes. Okay? So I need to cut up some garlic is what it looks like. Okay, now we're gonna put our items in a pot, bring to a rolling boil, and see what goes from there. Splash. Okay, I'm gonna add my garlic to give it some flavor. Okay, what else am I supposed to be? I'm supposed to be doing something, but I don't know what. So let's figure it out. All right, I'm waiting. Okay, so I have to add salt, pepper, and I've already put in my garlic. Got it. And everything's really to taste so far. They haven't specified to do anything other than like quantities of like the primary ingredients. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side for a little bit, and then I'm going to get started on my gumbo requirements. So let's figure out what's required. Okay, so first thing we have to do is create my chicken broth for my gumbo. First steps first. Yes, I'm reading, honey. I need 5 pounds of chicken wings. I'm not doing that because I'm trying to low key stay on a diet. So I have chicken tenderloins, less oil. I need 2 yellow onions, quartered. I need 2 cups of chopped celery. I'm not doing carrots. I don't like carrots like that. I need garlic, kosher salt, teaspoon of black peppercorn, 3 dried bay leaves, and chicken broth. All right, let's get her going. Okay, I don't remember the rest of the song, but you get the point. In a large stock pot, place chicken, onion, celery, garlic, all these things inside. Add broth to cover. Bring to a boil. Reduce heat and simmer, stirring occasionally. Oh my gosh, this says for 3 to 4 hours. What's not happening? Not tonight. We're gonna go with it, okay? I'm still stuck at 3 to 4 hours. Oh my god. I should have read this earlier. It said 3 to 4 hours, people. 3 to 4 hours. Like, I'm still reading for understanding. Like, this is so serious to me. Like, I'm so done with them right now. See, this is what you get when a modern day girl is like trying to do some real cooking over here. Like, this is not an hour, 2 hour meal. Like, it didn't even tell me how long this was going to take to prep. Like, I really feel some kind of way about this. Okay. Okay, so let's just get started. Let's just get started, honey. We're gonna have to put this on high because I don't have 3 to 4 hours to give. Not tonight. Not ever. 3 to 4 hours? I don't have that. I think I'm doing this correctly. I think. I hope. All right, so we're gonna test this potato because we don't want it to soften. We still want a little firmness in there based off of what I read. So let's see what happens. But I'm still done with that 3 to 4 hour deal. I don't know about that, honey bunnies. I just don't know about that. I don't have 3 to 4 hours. I don't have 3 to 4 hours. Okay, what's my next step? Okay, I need to cut up my celery, my garlic, salt, bay leaves. That's not how that works. I think it says I need 3 bay leaves. That smells really good. Oh my. That smells better than rosemary. It's like yummy. My bay leaves are broken, so I made I put more in there. So don't judge me. Okay. Please and thank you. Bye. All right, so let's cut up our onions here. So I was supposed to have a video last week. I baked macaroni and cheese, and somehow I deleted my video, and I was so upset. I was just done. I was just done for. And then I left to go to homecoming, and so I was like, oh my gosh, I really have to like bring something awesome this week since I missed the baked macaroni and cheese last week, and I didn't want to cook it again because it was really good and I ate a lot of it. So hence why I'm not redoing it, but I'm gonna do it, especially as Thanksgiving comes around or is coming up. You guys need to know how to do baked macaroni and cheese because that other stuff, that's for like, that's fake news. Okay, fake news. Baked macaroni and cheese. Please and thank you. And you might say like, well, you could like put it in a slow cooker, blah 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 blah. I don't have time for that. Okay, when I wake up in the morning, I'm barely getting my life together. Okay, I'm like, all right, boys, go outside, go potty, come back in. Everything must be, boom 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 boom, because time is of the essence. Because I'm always late. It's my truth. I need to cut up celery now. Cells. This celery reminds me of my grandma. I don't know why. Like my grandma, like she has been on my spirit, so she must be like watching out for me. That was my homie. My granny, like she has been on my mind and in my spirit since like the end of the week. I would say probably like Thursday or Friday. Like for some reason, I just called out her telephone number. No idea. Like it was so random, but I totally did. And I haven't done that since she's passed away. So I'm so grateful because like here lately I've been in a really great headspace, and so to like have her in the midst of that, to me that's a great feeling. I'm really happy about that. But I also think that's like part of like my coming to terms with like death also. Like I've had some challenges with the idea of death, and I've come to terms that like we all must die, right? We all must die. But then you cherish the memories. Like death is the only absolute in life, like in my mind. I could be wrong, but as I think about it and I'm doing this, like that's what I think. Death is an absolute. All right, so in a 12-inch cast iron skillet or Dutch oven, heat bacon drippings over medium heat. Add sausage, cook until lightly brown, 7 to 8 minutes. Add red onions, celery, bell peppers, sliced garlic, cook until veggies are wilted. All right, so what I need to do now is cook my sausage, add my onions and my celery, my bell peppers, and my garlic. Okay, I can do that. Ready, set, go. But let me clean up my area first. This is all messy for me. I guess you guys saw my sous chef, right? He's good for nothing. He's just making sure I didn't like get lost. That's what I would call the boss, right? All the work's getting done. They like disappear and then they come back around. Yeah, that's Henry. He's the boss. All right, darling. I think that is enough for tonight. So we're gonna put this away. Actually, I need some of this for my gumbo, I think. So I can't cook all of that. Almost forgot. Do a little of this, do a little of that. Listen, that celery is setting it off over there. Like, syrup on the left, y'all. Syrup on the right, y'all. Syrup. Woo! Woo! It's my jam. On the left, on the right, on the left, I suggest. Okay, we're gonna let that cook for about 7 to 8 minutes. That's what the directions told me. Okay? My sous chef isn't really sous chefing right now. It's more like a hall monitor. So it does not say to add corn, but I really have like a taste for corn. I don't know why. Corn adds no nutritional value to anything, but I still like it. So I'm gonna cut up corn from my gumbo. He's a vacuum cleaner. That's what he is. And again, I just want to say thank you to like all of my supporters. Like, I don't do this for like trying to get monetized or anything like that. I do this just for myself. It's something that I've enjoyed doing so far. So I just want to say thank you for everyone that supports me in my endeavors. So what I'm going to say is really geared towards New Orleans, but I recognize that there's a greater group of people than just like individuals from like New Orleans. But I just love New Orleans. Oh my gosh. I love New Orleans. I love the spirit of the city. I love the spirit of the people. I love the music. Oh, the freedom. Oh my gosh. I love New Orleans. And I think like I am drawn to New Orleans cuisine because it's very much to me reminiscent of Charleston cuisine. So yeah, love it. I'm gonna figure out this garlic peeling one day, man. I gotta figure this out. Low key killing me. And no. He's stealing his brother's jacket. Stolen. Ah! I made a mess. That really happened. Oh my god. It's happened. It's real life, people. I told you I can't cook. Alright, how do we fix this problem? We have to fix the problem because I can't function like this. Tongs! We shall fix the problem with tongs. God. If there's ever going to be one thing in my kitchen, there's going to be a disaster one day. Every time. What's that noise? Every time I cook, there's always a disaster. Has this ever happened to you while you've been cooking? This is like my first real spill. I don't know how I feel about this. Oh my gosh. I tell you what. What is this I'm on? Messiest kitchen ever? Choose the losers. In. Out. 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 Save the day. Oh my gosh. That was a lot happening just then. I'm kind of happy I did the onions a little bit larger because I do not like onions a lot, but I like the flavor, so I could easily like work around that whenever I'm eating my meal. So that makes me happy.
Okay, guys, so this is where things get they become a little hairy for me because my microphone has died and I'm about to get stressed out. So here we've just placed the papier potatoes in the oven, and now we're getting ready for the gumbo. This is about to turn into a hot mess. So now I'm reading, I'm extremely confused, and I don't understand what is expected of me because the instructions weren't very clear. So here I'm just describing that we're just gonna make it do what it do because that's what we do, honey. Well, that's what I do. So so now I'm doing some prepping, just trying to make sure I have everything I need. I probably don't have like the proper plate, but or pot, but that's typical. All right, I have some extra sausage left out that I need. I'm gonna prepare and cut. Okay, so here what I'm doing is taking out the tenderloins from out of the chicken broth, and I'm going to prepare to um, shred them basically, and they fell off of the bone, and it smelled so good. Like I was in disbelief how good the food smelled. Okay, so I've cut the tenderloins up, and I am a little confused as to if I'm supposed to place these items in the roux or I should have a separate roux. Okay, so I'm trying to develop my game plan here because I'm uber confused. I know I need to cook my sausage in my pot. Here we have the flour. Okay, this is going into the pot, and this is about to be a hot mess because I didn't realize I did not have enough olive oil in the house. I thought I did. There's always like something missing, right, when you go to the grocery store. So I'm trying to mix the flour with the small amount of oil that I have in the home, and it turns into basically it very reminiscent of me baking bread without enough water or the proper dough to water ratio. So yeah, I was a little concerned here. I just didn't know what to do. So we're gonna figure it out. And I'm questioning the instructions because I just didn't think this was right. It just didn't pass the logic test. So here I was like, I do have sesame seed oil in the refrigerator, but I was extremely concerned about the sesame seed oil because it does have a very low burn temperature, um, and so and then I was also afraid on how it would change the flavors of my dish because I use it primarily for like my Asian dish. At least with my minimal experience, that's what I've used it for. So I'm really concerned here. However, I am developing the gravy as described on the in the instructions, but again, I was just really concerned that if I used too much of the sesame seed oil, that it would just not have the flavor that I was looking for when um, creating my gumbo dish. So I was just a little concerned about that. So what it says is for you to stir for like 30 to 45 minutes until it became like a white chocolate color, and then it should slowly brown. And the facial expressions that I'm making is like, I cannot believe like I'm expected to whisk for like 30 to 45 minutes. And I was like really praising all of the women who had to work inside of a kitchen without central heating and air because I'm beginning to get a little flustered at this point, and you can tell by like my hand gestures and me like touching my face. I was just like, I just don't know what I'm doing here. So it's kind of funny actually watching this back, even though my microphone was not working. And as you can see, I'm pointing to the pot because I'm questioning if I'm supposed to put the flour in the pot at that time. or if I was I was so confused. And so what happens when I place the flour, this portion, inside the pot? It works out fairly well. I have some lumping, but not too bad. But this is where like disaster begins to strike. So um, I decide to place my flour directly into my roux, and that was just such a bad idea because I experienced terrible clumping in the roux. So it did require me to stir or whisk for a longer period of time had I used like the sauce pot and a bit more of the sesame seed oil to create that gravy. But I mean, it was a lesson learned. Something again I'd never done before, so I just didn't want to destroy the pot. It was like I was like 2 hours in, so I was totally invested, and to have like destroyed this pot would have like really made me a little annoyed because I was already flustered. So, so here I am whisking, trying to get the clumps out, and not really sure if I'm doing the right things, but we get there.
Okay, so I am back. I had to take a pause because that gumbo recipe was like really doing a trick on me, and I was just like so confused. So I am back. My microphone is working now, and I am ready to close up. So I have taken the potatoes and the vegetables and the sausage. I've taken that out. Papier, sure. Papier potatoes. I've taken that out of the oven, and I now have them sitting, and so they're really yummy, to be honest with you. And what you may have missed, and I'm holding my finger because I burnt myself, but what you may have missed is in my craziness of trying to figure out the gumbo was me placing the chicken and the sausage and the shrimp inside of my roux, and it's pretty simple. But the hardest part I experienced with my gumbo was getting the flour not to stick. So I gotta really figure that out. But yeah, I just kind of needed to not be on camera while I was figuring that out. That was like really tricky for me. But nevertheless, it turned out really, really yummy. So I have it in the warmer. So I'll pull it out right now, and let's get to plating. And my finger really hurts, like really badly. I knew better, but you know, you live, you learn. My sous chef is still hanging on by a thread here. Let's turn the warmer off. I really like that thing. I didn't realize how much I would like a warmer as much as I do. I never had one in a kitchen before, but it's definitely a plus. Oh, I probably should be like, how do you say okay? Like, yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm an AKA, sorry, but like, so it's a plus. Oh, the things that come naturally to us. All right, so in my gumbo, what you would find is a little bit different, but I did it because I'm very sensitive to textures. So I love gumbo, but I don't necessarily love the texture of gumbo. So I added, and don't judge me, but I added corn to it because I just really wanted it, and it also helps with the texture for me. It doesn't add a lot of flavor to it. Typically the corn will pick up the flavor of whatever you put it in. And so just in case I wanted to eat this without rice, I would have something that would give it texture, give the roux texture, and you've probably heard me mention before, but I really try to watch like what I eat because I'm short, honey. So a girl has to watch her intake. But let's get to plating and let's get going. So it looks good, it smells good. Let's hope it tastes good. Okay, no, I know it tastes good because I've already tried it. So check out the recipes in the comment. Ensure that you like, follow, and share. And thank you. Have a great day. Bye. And I'd like to say thank you to my sous chef, Henry.